Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video we're going to be changing the torsion bar bushings on the ML350. So to do that, what you need to do first is secure your vehicle, put it on jack stands, and have a secondary support. Like I've got jack shoved right in the middle of it. So the idea is to have both the wheels up in the air so there's no stress on the tension bars, torsion bars. So after that, we gotta get it under here. So actually I'll show you. This is a shot from right behind the driver's side wheel, and this is roughly just behind driver's side seat under, and on the other side it's behind passenger side. So there's two bushes that go onto these bars. Mine are just completely stuffed, so it creaks. You can just see some stuff coming out of there. So what we gotta do is take out this really long number, like, what is it, 19 mil bolt, which takes a while. And if your vehicle's as rusty as mine, so there's gonna be a lot of mess coming with it. And measure this hole first, just to see where your vehicle's sitting at, because this is crucial if you want your drivability same as it is now. Get your measuring tool and then just stick it in there to see how far it goes in. Alright, mine is sitting right at 1.25 inches, so this is my reference point to when I install it back after changing the bushings in here. So basically, I'll show you where the bush sits. The bush actually sits like that in there. So it's basically holding the bar in this metal plate here. So that's all we gotta do, undo this bolt, which is not as easy as it sounds like. You gotta undo this, clean up this area that's trapped a whole bunch of gunk from over the years, and then I'll see how bad it is under there. Maybe I'll give it a respray of paint with rust-proof paint, just make it look a bit nicer. And then remember the orientation of this plate that goes in there. There's a notch that comes at the back, and the metal plate goes from behind and comes out just right there, but I'll explain it in a bit depth once we get to that point. Right now we're gonna grab our 19 mil socket and a breaker bar and trying to open this up. Alright guys, so we got the 19 mil socket with the breaker bar, and it's normal thread. Alrighty, so we're gonna go with this, just a power tool. Put a small bucket under the tray under there to catch all the crap that's gonna come out of it. Okay, so it's coming off loose. Let's see how much more does it needs to go. Okay, there you go. It's a hot bolt right now. But it is quite long, so just pull it down, and then this is a bit tricky part here. Just shake it out. Look, mine's all broken, it's cracked, so it's full of dust. And it's a fairly simple job, guys. It doesn't take that long to do. Okay, now to get this off, give it a slight respray. Hang on a second, let me adjust the camera so you can just see there's a big crack in here, and there's all sorts of dust just sitting there. That's what makes life harder and just starts to creak like nobody's business. It just sounds literally embarrassing. You just trying to start off and all of a sudden there's this like cheap creaking noise. Alrighty, just use a screwdriver because it's gonna be just stuck to it, probably with the silicone from factory, I guess, or some kind of glue. There we go. There it is. Busted out torsion bar bushing. And we're just going to replace it with a new one. So the part is identical, same width, same length, but you can just see how the opening has changed over time. It's gotten used and it's gotten busted there. That's an easy fix. The part just sits there. That metal plate goes in like this. I'm gonna just leave it there for now, and this one with the notchy side goes in. It's slightly trickier for now. I'm just gonna try and clean this up and bring it back. Okay guys, so we've cleaned up both the plates where the bushings actually go in. Okay guys, so we've cleaned these babies up. Now I need to apply some automotive glue in here so it actually stays. And I didn't have access to Mercedes glue, so what I've done is just put normal automotive glue. Just smear a decent amount because the one that came from factory had quite a bit amount of glue in it. So just put it on. Give it a decent amount. And then see which bushing goes where. I don't think there's any definite orientation to it. So the way I'm putting it on is just going by the old glue pattern where it was sitting beforehand. Same thing on the other one. Put a fair bit of glue. You just stick it on the new bushing. And then inside the bushing I'm just going to put some grease just for better lubrication, that it just doesn't turn dry and crack. So I'll just run dry. So I've got some synthetic grease that I'll put it in there. I've taken both the bushings at the same time, and now it's time to get them ready. They both seem pretty much identical. I'm just going to shove some grease in here so when the bar sits in here and it moves around, it doesn't crack. It just gives it better lubrication and runs better. So for the years to come, I don't have to deal with this problem again. Not that it's a hard job, it's just one thing done properly that I don't have to worry about again. Okay guys, I'll put some grease in there, and now we're gonna try and put this thing back together. Okay, after putting in the grease, the next thing you gotta do is put this plate back where it was, and sometimes it's slightly tricky, but nothing crazy hard. Okay, push this up. And there we go. This goes back on. And now the only thing we gotta make sure is that this notch here, okay, this is exactly how the notch is supposed to sit, guys. You gotta have this little pointy thing come out of the backing plate. And then we need this solid steel to go on, and the other notch here, there's a small notch. I'll show you on the other plate. This notch on this end, it needs to go in this hole here. Right there, there's a hole. So the notch goes on it, and then it sits flush. Put some anti-seize on it, and then just trying to drive the nut back in the drawer, into the bar. This is slightly tricky because you really have to pay attention to the threads and how it's gonna sit. Okay guys, so I got the bolt started, and the best way to do it was put some kind of support under the plate that holds the weight. Then you can drive your bolt through here, and the tricky part is the top on the other side. The nut is not welded onto the plate, so you have to actually find it. Hang on, let me move the camera a bit. Just over the top here on the frame, you can actually access the nut, and then you're gonna line it up with your bolt so you can tighten it up, or you can even just get it started, not even tighten it up, because you don't want to run the thread on these long bolts. They're a specialty, I'm pretty sure. So just to get one offhand won't be that easy. We're going to be at it for quite some time. Okay guys, once the plate's sitting in its spot, it's just a matter of driving the bolt in as far as you want to just adjust it according to your own requirement. If you like the stiffened front end, or if you want to have it slightly lifted with the torsion, so just adjust accordingly. Or if you liked it the way before, before you started doing it all, then just measure it before the job starts and then go from there. You've measured it and you want to keep it at the same height, sort of thing, and you can just go on from there. Like mine was 1.5 inches, but I might actually make it a little bit stiffer to see if I like it better that way. And once it's tightened, then that's it, the job is done. Just make sure everything's in place and you haven't missed anything. Double check it, there's not a whole lot to miss. And please make sure your bolt is threading in correctly. You do not want to damage the threads on these things unless you have a spare part sitting around. So yeah, that's about it guys. If you like the video, please subscribe, and thank you to the subscribers who did already. I'll try to make some more quality content. If there's any issues that you want to fix on your cars or your MLs and you want to see the tutorial, please let me know and I can try and make a video on those. This is how the car sits after replacing the bushings, guys. I've dialed in the front torsion bar at 1 inch, and this is the kind of lift you can expect from brand new shocks in the front and torques, and the torsion bar lifted to 1 inch. So the SUV looks pretty good in terms of the ride height, and the rear will get lifted too once we replace the shocks. I am gonna lift it and then maybe even turn the torsion bars and just jack it up even higher. So more content's coming. I am gonna be putting new spacers on and widen up the wheels a little bit, and that'll be in the upcoming weeks once I source out the parts and get it going. So it's an easy fix guys, and you can jack up the suspension too at the same time while you're doing this. I'm sure it's going to drop a little bit after it settles, but it looks pretty good now. Looks a lot tough than it did before. So easy job. Just use patience and care and everything goes smoothly. Have a good day, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye now.